The film takes place in the 16th century. In the first scene, we see Tien, the youngest son of a prominent family from the Ayutthaya dynasty. Lord Rahasena's troops are now holding him hostage. Tien looks to be deeply drugged, and he only awakens when buckets of water are poured into his face. The first thing he notices is a bunch of soldiers with thick wooden staves. It becomes clear that Tien has been sentenced, and the soldiers are ordered to violently beat him up. Tien collects all of his energy as they prepare to begin the surgery, and fights back with his flawless movements. He kills numerous troops before being overwhelmed and knocked down. Rahasena then tells his troops to break Tien's elbows and knees. On the other hand, Kanakone is dealing with an outbreak of disease. A local doctor sees a few cases, while the villagers believe the ailment is a curse. To find a remedy, a master called Bua takes a Buddhist pilgrimage, during which he finds that the root of the curse is Buddhi Sanka, the black mystic or the demon of darkness. Master Bua then concentrates the malicious energy into a single leaf that lands in his hand. Following this, he resolves to become a monk in order to combat the evil powers. In other news, Rahasena is troubled by images of his late predecessor, whom he poisoned to death to seize the kingdom. These images afflict him, and it becomes evident that Rahasena is the victim of a curse imposed by the late monarch before his death. Later that night, at midnight, Rahasena awakens to see a brawl in his courtyard. Some troops appear to have arrived to free Tien from his incarceration, but suddenly Buddhi appears out of nowhere and slaughters the warriors one by one. After witnessing his incredible combat skills, Rahasena offers to hire him in the hopes of securing his services. The dark mystic, on the other hand, has other plans. He instead advises breaking Rahasena's curse, hinting at a link between the curse and Tien. The evil ruler immediately believes it, and sends his troops to kill Tien. However, just as the executioner is ready to execute Tien, a messenger from the Ayutthaya kingdom comes with a pardon from the highest authority in the nation. This forces Rahasena to give up his prized prisoner. He had a startling delusion while yelling in rage. Rahasena saw his warriors approaching him, presumably to execute him. This irritates him so much that he bursts out of his reverie and murders one of his soldiers on the spur of the moment. Meanwhile, Tien is hurried to Kanakone village to obtain the essential treatment. Pim, his childhood sweetheart, has been appointed to look after him. However, before the mending process can begin, they are attacked by masked assassins dispatched by Rahasena. A furious struggle breaks out between the masked men and the royal couriers as mayhem unfolds. The bad men rapidly assume control and begin assassinating the impoverished folks one by one. They are finally defeated when the remaining messengers band together and battle with all their might. Finally, all of the disguised men are killed, but so are the messengers. In the following scene, we see Tien laying on a stone bed, his body covered in bandages to show the extent of his injuries. After returning from his meditative state, Master Bua discloses that Tien's current situation is the result of his terrible karma from the past. Master Bua then summons the entire community to pray together in order to bring Tien back to life. The procedure included the construction of the sacred Ong Bak Buddha statue, the offering of earnest prayers to the deities, and the administration of herbal treatments. In the middle of all of these therapeutic practices, Pim, propelled by her love and dedication for Tien, performs a beautiful prayer dance, pleading for his quick recovery. Fortunately, their combined efforts result in a fortunate conclusion as Tien regains consciousness. However, he is unable to stand owing to the harsh beatings. Tien pulls himself towards a neighboring precipice at the crack of dawn. He feels helpless both physically and psychologically, and wishes to do the unspeakable. But suddenly Master Bua appears on the scene and stops him. He immediately chastises Tien for evading his responsibility to save the realm and its people. Then he turns his gaze to the rising light. Master Bua gives Tien a significant lesson, explaining that even in the darkest of circumstances, light is always present, ready to dispel the darkness. Tien is moved by these remarks and reconsiders his decision to continue alive. He embarks on a perilous trip from that point on. He takes his frail body to an abandoned temple deep into the woods and begins self-medication. He also stretches his muscles and contorts his bones in an attempt to get back to his feet. Tien's body gradually recovers its strength and resilience as time passes. Pim comes to the temple one day to visit him. She expresses how much she missed him and how she prayed for his recovery daily. Tien is overcome with joy at hearing this and invites her to dance. Following their romantic session, they embrace each other on a rough ledge. Master Bua approaches Tien the following day and explains to him about Dharma, which comprises the concepts of righteousness, merit, and fulfilling religious and moral commitments. Tien embarks on a life-changing adventure with this lesson in mind. He trains himself to establish a new fighting technique by merging martial arts and dance, by doing some spiritual dancing moves. As the days pass, he develops into a fearsome beast capable of defeating anybody. In other news, Rahasena travels to Buti's shattered castle in an attempt to break the curse that has befallen him. Buti, on the other hand, reveals his actual character, indicating that he was the one who was causing him to suffer all along. He also talks about his ideal gal being the new king. When Rahasena hears all of this, he becomes infuriated and orders his soldiers to murder Buti. Despite their best efforts, the troops are powerless against the mighty Black Mystic. Buti demonstrates his exceptional combat abilities, quickly dispatching the troops one by one. When Rahasena is left alone, he grasps his bow and arrow and points it towards the betrayer. However, before he can fire, Buti arrives and decapitates him. The severed head curses Buti in the same way as the former monarch cursed Rahasena, but the Dark Mystic appears to be immune. Later, he ascends to the throne and seizes control of the kingdom. With only one opponent left, Buti orders his warriors to eliminate Tien. Tien is in the middle of his training when he is unexpectedly approached by a gang of soldiers that evening. They are determined to murder him to impress their new boss. Tien, on the other hand, has different intentions. He dispatches the hostile soldiers one by one without breaking a sweat. Tien looks to have finally mastered the skill of Dharma after years of hard work and diligent practice. Following this, Tien rushes to Kana Cone Hamlet only to find a horrifying sight. The once thriving community is now in ruins, its streets stained with the lifeless remains of the residents. Tien's mind is broken by the image, and he begins wailing like a child. His seclusion is broken once more when a new wave of hostile soldiers rushes after him. They are certain that they can kill Tien, but they are unaware that they have enraged the world's toughest warrior. Tien, driven by a burning desire for revenge, harnesses his rage and delivers these troops a severe lesson. Tien conducts a last rite to honor the slain people, giving homage to their lives once he has finished killing them. Following that, he seeks advice from Master Bua. The latter speaks a few words of encouragement to him and delivers him a supernatural stick capable of battling the darkness. Master Bua reveals that the stick is the most powerful weapon in the world, and that when wielded correctly, it may even call the gods. Elsewhere in Buti's country, we find that Pim and the surviving villagers have been enslaved. They are forced to work as laborers under exceedingly severe conditions. If they make even the tiniest mistake or become exhausted, the troops savagely lash them with whips. The position of the royal elephants is far worse. They are ruthlessly slain for the sake of their blood, which Buti consumes to obtain greater power. Meanwhile, Tien arrives in the kingdom, determined to rescue his people and vanquish the enemies. Buti, on the other hand, detects his existence and chooses to intervene. In a stunning display of strength and sorcery, he summons an eclipse, plunging the realm into absolute darkness. This makes the locals that he is no ordinary guy, and they bend in dread before him. Unfortunately, Buti learns that Pim is Tien's lover, so he promptly snatches her and kills her. This is enough to push Tien over the limit, and in despair, he unleashes a vicious assault on the guards. He then attempts to murder Buti, but the Dark Mystic instantly flips the script and plunges a spear deep into Tien's chest, leaving him on the verge of death. As Tien's life slips, he recalls Master Bua's lessons, and the entire conflict, as well as Pim's terrible fate, are shown to be a figment of his imagination. Tien chooses to change his ways now that he has been granted a second opportunity. He summons the thunder and strikes Buti with the might of his magical staff. This final stroke breaks the devil's power, causing the eclipse to disappear, symbolizing the triumph of light over darkness. As Buti awakens from the hit, he cannot believe that his demonic abilities are gradually vanishing in front of his eyes. Tien approaches him soon after, and the final fight between the two begins. Tien is not battling in rage as he was in his illusion. Instead, he looks to be relaxed and focused on his newly gained expertise. Buti launches his spear at one point during the fight, intending to destroy his opponent once and for all. To his dismay, Tien is able to capture it with his bare hands. After then, the struggle continues for a bit, and both of them end up on the royal ledge above the arena. When it comes to fighting, they appear to be on an equal footing. Tien, on the other hand, has a significant edge when it comes to focus. Sensing the danger around them, he skillfully lifts Buti by the chin and dumps him over a wrathful elephant. The animal's tusk fractures and gravely impales Buti, killing him. As a result, the fight is over and the realm is finally free of all evil. The film concludes with Tien, Pim, and the surviving villagers paying their respects to the venerated Ong Bak Buddha statue. They are now hopeful or beginning a calm life where no harm or curse may disturb them.